I'm fortunate to have a large staff and a large quotient of caring staff who really do their very best for our clients. And I've spoken about that before, but really the staff make an incredible difference. And in this episode, a lot of them are talking about some of the favorite cases that they've been involved in. But I think what you'll really hear is how invested they are in the matters. And that's not always easy. I can tell you just from a personal level, I've never been a great driver ever since I started doing this work, because you hear about so many freakish accidents. People will tell you they were driving down the highway and somebody going in the opposite direction, their car flipped over, hurtled through the barriers, landed on top of their car, killed 2 people in their car, and they lost their arm and now have tremendous psychological problems as a result. So, if you're listening to those things every day of your life, I promise you, you're a bit nervous when you're driving, especially our South African roads, developing economy, they're crazy. But it impacts the staff. But it's important that they are involved and that they're intimately involved in the cases. And let's hear from some of them.
It's very difficult to divide personal from business and circumstances, especially where someone's died, from the actual professionalism of the work. I take on the energy of what somebody else has suffered and plow that into trying to get the best I can out of the road accident fund.
The case that I have worked on that was particularly interesting and also very, very close to my heart. It was a lady. She was my first consultation I ever scheduled, and she was lovely, amazing human being. And she suffered some very severe injuries. She also lost her husband and her son. I think her son was about 12 years old in the accident. Her case was finalized maybe about 2 weeks ago, and it was finalized for about 8 million rand.
There's a matter of a guy who was paraplegic. He could still walk, but he needed 2 people to balance him. So we arranged an appointment for him to come to consultation. We thought that he will be able to get to the office without help until 2 people had to hold him on the sides and walked him into the office. The matter touched me so much that we immediately arranged the firm to buy a wheelchair for client. And when the client left the office on that day, he was a very happy man because he was independent using a wheelchair.
We had a client recently, lady, she was crying on the phone. She was extremely happy receiving her payment. She couldn't explain how she was so grateful for the payment she received recently from us and how well we assisted her.
I do tend to get emotionally attached to some clients because of the fact that you go through their reports, you see what they've gone through, and then you think to yourself, what if I was in that position, Then you try to do even more better for them. And I read through every report that comes through to see what is needed for these clients, what further experts we might need for these clients, and what we can do to help these clients.
We obviously get expert reports. It's very difficult to read the struggles that someone has been through, but then it makes it more motivating to do well for them.
There is this one client that used to stay in streets. One of our drivers met her and she saw the car that we do road accident fund cases, and she was in an accident. I hold her hand until her case was finalized. I am proud of what happened with that client.
Dealing with clients that have been seriously injured in the accident is emotionally attaching because although you don't want to take your work home, you do. You really feel very empathetic towards these clients and you do want to go the extra mile to make sure that you get the best possible settlement out of it. That's why I do what I do, because I love it.
I think what you've just heard is the deep empathy that my staff have for the clients. The attorneys in particular are very invested in the client's cases. They're very involved. And over the years, I've tried to hire people that do have empathy and that are very sympathetic to our clients and love the work that they do. There's plenty of attorneys out there. Not all of them have empathy. Not all of them can get involved in a client's case. And while on one hand, you need to stand back and be realistic about what a case is or isn't worth, on the other hand, you need somebody who wants to fight your case the whole way and who understands what you've been through. And I think that this video, more than any other in the series, illustrates that perfectly. I play a few sports. I'm just getting back into tennis, for example, but my favorite over the years has been golf. It's a great game that unfortunately takes up too much time, but it resembles life in many ways. There is, of course, an element of talent and even more so hard work. You don't ever get anywhere without hard work. Golf needs plenty of time to play and practice, and in recent years, I just haven't had the chance. Like life, there is also good and bad luck. You can hit a great shot, but you get a bad bounce. You hit a bad shot, but you get a lucky bounce. You have to deal with whatever happens and to try and stay calm, and that offers many lessons for life and business. Of course, it's also a wonderful way to make great friends and see different places also.